From the Samsung Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
Temperatures in the 90s might mean summertime fun, but it can also mean danger for the young, the elderly, and folks who have to exert themselves outdoors. Savoring the heat safely, our top story on News 13 for this Wednesday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Baczynski. Well, temperatures soared to the mid-90s today, and the real feel even higher. You've got to be careful out there. Every year in the U.S., hundreds of people die of heat exhaustion. But Matthew Petrillo has some safety tips to help you weather the hot weather.
Temperatures outside are not breaking any records this week, but whew, is it hot out there?
Hot when you walk, and I came in here to cool off, you know.
These seniors flock to the Pottsville Senior Center when it gets hot.
Well, stay in here and stay out of the hotness.
They've got a lot of reasons to be here, like entertainment, games, and of course, good old-fashioned air conditioning.
It's nice and cool in here and the food is good.
Schuylkill County has senior centers in Pottsville, Tremont, Mahanoy City, Schuylkill Haven, and Shenandoah, just to name a few. And during these hot days, hours are extended from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m.
Come into your local senior resource center. There's a feeling of community, just interaction and socializing, and it'll keep you cool during the day.
This week will likely have some of the hottest days this summer. So Dr. Kyle Callback of Schuylkill Health says people need to play it safe.
Stay well hydrated, to continually drink throughout the day.
And he has some great tips to stay cool. He says block the sun by staying indoors. Check on neighbors, especially the elderly. Wear light-colored and loose-fitted clothing, and be sure to accessorize.
Try and wear clothing that breathes and allows their sweat to evaporate off of them.
Limit your outdoor activity to early mornings or late evenings. And athletes, as you guys begin to train for the fall, know your limits.
It's important that they become acclimated to the heat before they start exercising in the heat.
Another way to beat the heat is to just get under some shade like I'm doing right now. It feels great under here. Now, if you can't remember all of those tips, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration just released a new app. It's a summertime effort to keep workers informed of harmful risks of the sun. Now, all you do is gotta open up the app and you just press Get Current. From there, it'll tell you the heat index from exactly where your cell phone is, and if you just press precautions, it'll give you a whole bunch of tips of how to stay safe in this heat. Keeping it breezy and easy. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
Well, kids enjoy spending these hot days out in the sunshine, and today's Schuylkill County Recreation Program helped to cool them down. All summer long, Pottsville's Parks and Recreation Department has scheduled activities at most of the parks for kids. The free fun happens every weekday from 9:30 a.m. till 1 in the afternoon, and the kids are always supervised by adults who run the activities. Children also have the opportunity to meet new friends and take part in lots of different things, and today, the children who participated enjoyed some free water ice and played some great games.
Going on the swings, playing Guess Who, drawing sometimes.
One of the things is a lot of kids today, they stay in, they're watching TV, they're playing video games, and it's a wonderful thing to have them just go outside and enjoy nature. We go on the swings, they like to play tennis ball, just run around, get the energy out, and it's really great.
The fun continues right through August, and if you want to join, just show up almost any day at the park at any park in Pottsville, and get in on the action. Well, most people like to stay in shape by grabbing a workout as often as possible, but how does that go when you add 90-degree temperatures into the mix? Christina Papa explains how folks in our community are still working out even in this heat wave.
Temperatures are rising, but that hasn't stopped Michelle from getting her workout on.
I do. It's not easy. Usually the most I do outside is power walking. Like, I don't run, but I try to do it in the evening. But lately, in this heat, it's still hot, even in the evening.
The daytime heat has everyone running for cover. That's why the YMCA is inviting those who are still looking to stay active in the heat on a nighttime walk.
We call them Wednesday Y Walks, and it's in conjunction with the Keystone Active Zone. What we're trying to do is attract the average person who just wants to get out and enjoy a free activity and learn more about the community at large.
They're calling the walk What's New in Hazleton, and of course the main topic of discussion, all that road work.
The Broad Street Corridor project, and so that's my plan, is to be talking in regard to that.
Even at night, the temps aren't falling too low. So Senior Program Director Mary Jo Pincala says she's keeping out for rain and too much shine.
Normally these walks will be a mile and they take about an hour and a half. Should the temperatures be threatening, we'll probably make it shorter.
Even in these hot temps, they still plan to hold that walk today around 6 p.m. at the YMCA. Mary Jo says the best thing to do if you plan to attend, hydrate.
They need to bring water bottles. You know, a cold, wet towel to put across the back of your neck is a great idea. You know, if you want to bring an umbrella or something, you know, to shade yourself, that's a great idea as well.
Your body's already working overtime to cool itself off in the heat. That's why Mary Jo says slow down. Still, the temps haven't stopped Michelle from working out. She says her secret weapon?
Water, lots of water. Definitely.
For more information about Wednesday walks, you can contact the YMCA at the number at the bottom of your screen. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
Hazleton police on the trail of an armed robber tonight. They say a man armed with a large knife held up the pantry quick on East Diamond Avenue last night. The robber entered the store just around 10 p.m. last night, demanded that the clerk hand over cash as well as some cigarettes. The clerk did just that and wasn't hurt. The robber took off on foot. He's described as a white male, about 5'8" tall. Anybody with information about that robbery asked to call the Hazleton police. Well, crime in the city, just one of the issues put to Hazleton's mayor last night in his first ever community forum. As Alex Sellen tells us, the open session is the mayor's way to speak directly to taxpayers without the constraints of a formal meeting.
Although it didn't run the full scheduled 2 hours yesterday evening, Mayor's Night In was a productive one. Some of the ticket issues of the meeting included trash buildup on Alter Street, the Hazleton Municipal Airport, excessive crime in the city, and unanswered 911 calls. There were also concerns of code violations, such as unpermitted construction, things that could mean revenue for the city. But with all these concerns, Mayor Yannuzzi didn't sugarcoat the status of the staffing in the city.
Let me just say this, the city of Hazleton, in the position it is financially, is really operating on a skeleton staff.
The city is still looking to secure $500,000 in funding for stormwater management, but that seems to be most of the mayor's concern financially.
As of right now, we are paying our bills, which is very rare for city of Hazleton, and we're looking pretty good.
I asked one woman what her largest concern was in the city of Hazleton.
The crime that's going on in the city, and just people getting involved. We need more people to get involved, and I wish more people would have shown up tonight.
And her take on community relations with police?
You can't just keep saying that we don't have enough, that's why the crime's not getting solved. You have to do something, and it's up to the police to go out there and make the community comfortable with them. So if that happens, I think that they will get more feedback from them.
And with Mayor Yannuzzi's decision to opt out of future city council meetings due to some hostility at those meetings, Mayor's Night In is his new version of those meetings that will actually give people a chance to voice their opinions, voice their concerns, and he was happy with the way it went tonight.
In other settings, it doesn't work. It's somebody else's setting, and we're trying to say our side. Here, we got our side out. They understand what we're doing and how we're trying to accomplish things. So that was what I wanted to get out, and I think I did it.
As the meeting adjourned, the waters were calmer than some may have expected. And even if they weren't, it's all in a day's work for the city administration. Alex Sellen, News 13 Hazleton.
And still ahead on News 13, is it hot enough for you yet? Well, it might get even hotter. We'll tell you the temps in News 13 weather. But first, hot, humid weather brings out the mosquitoes, and we've had the first one test positive for West Nile virus in the region. We'll tell you where when News 13 continues. The Department of Environmental Protection has discovered a mosquito carrying the West Nile virus not that far from Greater Hazleton. Christina Papa has more on the first known incident of West Nile virus in Luzerne County.
They're just looking for their next meal, but mosquitoes can carry a serious and, in rare cases, deadly virus.
Yeah, we had the first West Nile virus positive for mosquito in the northeast region of the state for DEP. It was found at a trap set in Hanover Township, Luzerne County.
The Department of Environmental Protection traps hundreds of mosquitoes every year. Luzerne is the third county to find an infected mosquito this season. Cases popped up in our area much earlier last year. DEP believes the cold front in May could have prevented mosquitoes from coming out.
Last year we had our first positive in mid-June. Now it's mid-July, so it's a month later. But just because the positive was found so late doesn't mean we don't want people to still be aware and protect themselves against West Nile.
There's still a lot of summer left. People will be going camping, sitting by the fire, swimming in lakes, and fishing in streams. That's why DEP says don't put your guard down.
We want people to still protect themselves, which means above all in your backyards, tip over standing water. If you have that in a bird bath, old tires, especially an old swimming pool, get rid of standing water.
West Nile virus is spread through a mosquito bite. According to the CDC, no human cases of West Nile have been reported in our area this year.
Symptoms typically include fever, fatigue, chills, sweats, typical flu-like symptoms.
Dr. Lubinsky wants to reassure folks while West Nile can in rare cases be deadly, most times it can be treated.
You typically would have those symptoms, they may be mild and in most cases are, so you may not know that you have West Nile, and it goes away on its own in most people.
People most at risk, the elderly. So the best way to keep you and your entire family safe, try not to get bit, or if possible, wear long sleeves and pants, and always wear bug spray. Christina Papa, News 13, Luzerne County.
Some good advice there. And it's time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar, nothing but wide open skies, and that's allowing the sun to beat down. Now, the National Weather Service issuing a warning for the heat index that it's going to be well into the 90s, maybe even approaching 100 degrees today and maybe even tomorrow. Creative Condition is all about a beautiful summer day. It's by Gianna Ruggel, a student at Hazelton Elementary Middle School, and there she is keeping cool by reading a book under the shade of a big tree. Some very good advice there. Now, let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazelton. For tonight, it'll be mostly clear with the low only getting down to 71 degrees. And for Thursday, sunny with isolated showers and thunderstorms in the late afternoon, a high near 88. Those storms could continue right through the evening with a low only down to 72 degrees. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, mostly clear with a low around 70. Then Thursday, sunny, isolated showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, the high up to 92. Those showers continue into the evening with a low just getting down to 72 degrees. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. The daily 407, Big 4 1725, Quinto 64686, and the treasure hunt 10 14 17 26 28. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy first birthday to Bianca Rose Brioc. This wish comes with love from Mommy, Daddy, Landon, Great Nanny, and Yaya. Also tonight, happy 36th birthday to Patricia DeGangi. Love from your boyfriend Chris, Mom, Dad, Joe, Anthony, and Uncle Frank. Tonight's Talk of the Town report. Once again, it's time to round up the Wildcats and gather them for the annual reunion of alumni, teachers, and anyone who attended the former West Hazelton High School. This year's roundup will be held August 24th at the Nescopec Township Fire Hall. There's a $21 charge for the buffet, and registration is required. For more information, please call 570-788-2515. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Joan B. Christoph of Wilkes-Barre Township. Memorial Mass will be held Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the St. Cyril and Methodius Parish. Friends may call Saturday from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. Anthony J. Gunzereth, formerly of Drums. Services were held at the convenience of the family and under the direction of the Firo Funeral Home. Veronica Soltis of Freeland. Funeral is Friday at 9:30 a.m. from the McHugh-Wilczek Funeral Home. Friends may call Friday from 8:30 to 9:30. Mercedes M. Castillo of Hazelton. Arrangements were announced by the Belts Petrilli Funeral Home. Genevieve M. Cutzer of West Hazelton. Funeral is Thursday at 9:15 a.m. from the Firo Funeral Home. Friends may call Wednesday from 5 to 8 p.m. And Barbara Demshock Jaffin of Berwick. Services will be held Thursday at 11 a.m. at the Mayo Funeral Home. Friends may call from 10 to 11 a.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazelton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Doves of White, serving Schuylkill and surrounding counties. Call 570-205-1597.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Mid-July, of course, All-Stars dominates anything you talk about with sports in the Major League All-Star game last night. But let's not forget The International League, they'll hold their annual AAA All-Star game tonight. It'll be the International League against the Pacific Coast League, and the game will be played in the Pacific Coast League Park out in Reno, Nevada. So last year was in Buffalo. That's an International League team. This year we go out to the Pacific Coast, and of course there are representatives from the AAA clubs here in northeastern Pennsylvania. As far as the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Rail Riders, they have two representatives out there. Thomas Neal, outfielder who got a cup of coffee with the Yankees earlier this year. He'll be in the dugout tonight. He's a non-starter, but the outfielder should see some action. Meanwhile, Chris Borchek, he'll be out in the bullpen. Hopefully he can get an inning or so in. So the Yankee AAA affiliate will send two representatives out there. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, well, they only have one representative. It'll be Cody Ash, the third baseman. He'll be a reserve. So the Phils will be represented at the AAA All-Star game with one of their corner infielders. We'll see what happens. The game is going to be live on TV on ESPN. So if you're interested, you'll be able to catch that one. The AAA All-Star game from Reno, Nevada. Now, of course, it was Major League All-Star game last night, and it was really the All-Star game that will be remembered for the Mariano Rivera tribute. What an amazing, amazing moment. All of the players off the field, and to the strains of Enter Sandman, Mariano Rivera came into the game, and it was very emotional. Crowd in New York giving him a huge ovation. All the players coming out of the dugout, really something you've never seen. And even if you are not a Yankee fan, you had to sit back and enjoy this one. Class act, Mariano Rivera. He became the game's most valuable player after a 1-2-3 inning. And the American League pitching dominated the National League. National League only had 2 hits. Final in this one, American League 3, National League nothing. Just for looking ahead, if you're interested, the Baseball All-Star game next year will be at Target Field in Minnesota. Now, you want to talk about going from one end of the spectrum to the other. While one of the class Yankees of all time, Mariano Rivera, was singled out last night, Alex Rodriguez continued his rehab in Reading last night. A-Rod was 0 for 3. He did knock in a run with a sac fly in the second inning. He got 3 at-bats and then came out of the game. Trenton got upended by the Reading Phils, 6-3. The final there. A-Rod's rehab continues down in Berks County. Now, you know, we're only days away from the start of the NFL training camps, and a lot of people have been asking me about Hazleton product Nate Eachus, of course. He played 14 games last year for the Kansas City Chiefs in his rookie year, but was released by the Chiefs, and a lot of people saying, what is his status? He still is a free agent. Anybody could pick him up. There have been a couple of teams that have expressed an interest, but with a little bit more than a week to go, nobody has made a definitive invite to the Drums native. But we'll wait and see. There's still some time there. You would think somewhere he would be able to catch on and at least be given a chance and a look during preseason. We'll wait and see. A lot of the camps begin on July 24th, 25th, so we'll keep you informed. But as of right now, Nate Eachus still a free agent, up for the taking for any NFL team that wants to take a look. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The racing will begin at 6, so plenty of action this Saturday, and it's well worth it. Hey, grandstand admission only $10. Kids 10 and under are free, and if you're an active military or a student, even senior discount, $2 off the price of admission. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway.
And something more to tell you about in sports. First, it was the captain. Now it's A-Rod. The Rail Riders have announced that Alex Rodriguez will be rehabbing with Wilkes-Barre-Scranton starting tomorrow night. A-Rod will make his first appearance with the Rail Riders tomorrow night at PNC Field for their game against the Louisville Bats. Rodriguez has been out all season after hip surgery last year. He recently began playing minor league games with the Yankees single-A and double-A franchises. Now he's been promoted to the AAA Rail Riders for a similar assignment to the one that Yankees captain Derek Jeter made last week. Well, a most unusual suspect was taken into custody after wandering the streets of Hazleton aimlessly in the middle of the night. Right around 4 a.m. this morning, Hazleton police responded to a report of a goat in the roadway. When they arrived near the fire station on East Broad Street, they found this tan and white guy just meandering about. The report from Hazleton police say the goat was taken into custody without incident. He's currently lounging behind bars on this hot day at the Hazleton Animal Shelter. He'll be there until somebody claims him. If you recognize the suspect or know who his owner is, police ask you to contact them or the Hazleton Animal Shelter. And here's what our media partner, the Standard Speaker, is working on for tomorrow's edition. A Beaver Meadows man accused of injuring the borough's police chief appears in district court. You can read all about it in the Thursday edition of the Standard Speaker. Plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. Grab the repellent. Officials have captured the first mosquito carrying West Nile virus in our area. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.